All right, so for all you guys who think ChatGPT is going to take your jobs, check this out. I asked it a question. It was like a riddle when I was like 10 years old. If a plane were to crash on the border of the US and Canada, where would you bury the survivors? Now, just to be clear here, if I were on a plane that crashed on the border of the US and Canada or wherever it crashed and I survived, I would want to just go home and be with my loved ones, right? All right, so here we go. Here's what it says, right? So if a plane would have crashed on the border of the US and Canada, where would they bury the survivors? ChatGPT says it would depend on the specific circumstances of the crash and the wishes of the survivors and their families. If the crash occurred on the border of the US and Canada and the survivors were citizens of one of those countries, they would likely be buried in the country of their citizenship. If the crash occurred on the border and the survivors were citizens of a different country, they would likely be buried in a location that is agreed upon by the survivors and their families, as well as the governments of the US and Canada. The jurisdiction of the crash site would also be taken into account, and the respective authorities would work together to ensure a dignified burial for the survivors. So there you have it, folks. ChatGPT wants to bury survivors. Apparently the I in AI doesn't stand for intelligence. It stands for idiot or something.